I was just asked a question. Ladies and gentlemen, does this mean that you can now go to Canada and buy a Cuban cigar and bring it back home? I don't think it means that yet. We are still here trying to figure out what happened. And by the way, I need to remind you all of something. This is chump change compared to what's going to happen the next 2 years. I have warned all of you people. I have warned you that these last 2 years of the Obama administration are going to actually be what he would have done if he'd had total control and not have to worry about the Constitution in the first 2 years. You better look out, because today is just a smidgen example. All these memos, executive orders, rewriting, overwriting, ignoring the U.S. Constitution. Wait till we sell Iran a nuclear bomb. Wait till something like that happens. You haven't seen anything yet. This Cuban thing, this is chump change. Yes, I'm joking, but I'm trying to illustrate a point by using excessive exaggeration. You haven't seen anything yet. This is just the beginning. This is just a teaser, an appetizer for what is on tap the next 2 years. Everything Obama thinks this country's guilty of and needs to apologize for, he's going to take care of. Cuban embargo, our fault, shouldn't have happened. We've devastated the Cuban people. It never made any sense. It's a relic, and it comes from a part of the American past which is not honorable, all that kind of stuff. Get this, you may not know this yet. The regime has made an official move. Are you ready for this? The DOJ is actually beginning the process of eliminating police officer shootings from grand jury proceedings. In other words, police officers will no longer benefit from the equality clauses in the U.S. Constitution. In other words, if there is another police shooting, the local prosecutors will not be able to slough it off to a grand jury. Grand juries will not be permitted to handle those. They'll be held directly by the DA or the state attorney or whoever else. That's a denial of equal access laws, and the regime just going to do it. They're going to probably announce it with a memo. And nobody's making any move to stop Obama on this. Now, in the cigar business, I think right now you can only bring the cigars, the tobacco products back from Cuba. I don't think it means you can buy them yet in Canada or the UK. If you want to be the guinea pig to try it, have at it. Find out if we're right about this. But it won't be long, folks. Be patient. So I checked the email during the break, as I always did. And Pete, Rush, where'd you see that story on Obama and the grand juries and the cops? It's at thehill.com. Here's the headline: White House task force to review grand juries' handling of police killings. A White House panel is examining whether grand juries are the best way to review the use of deadly force by cops in the aftermath of controversial decisions not to indict police officers who killed unarmed black men. Philadelphia Police Chief Charles Ramsey is co-chairing the panel, and he told NPR on Tuesday, one of the things that we'll be looking at as a task force is independent review of these kind of cases. And how should that take place? Grand jury, for example, the proper way of doing it, with the DA's involvement and that so forth. So this White House panel, hand-picked by Obama, wants to take away police shooting cases from grand juries. So what happens to equal protection under the law? Aren't cops American citizens? Aren't they almost on the same level as illegal aliens? So why deny them equal protection under the law by denying them the ability for their cases to be heard by a grand jury? But that's not all. The White House panel also wants to force local cops to undergo training. This same White House panel that wants to take away police shooting cases from grand juries is demanding that local cops undergo training. The task force admits that they can't tell cops, police departments, what to do, but they, in effect, say that they can threaten to withhold federal money from police departments to make the states and counties do their bidding, which is exactly what the federal government's done to get control of education, if you must know. The way the feds control curricula is to deny federal funds, the school lunch program, or to threaten to, and therefore they get their fingers in the curriculum on education, which is state and local province. So, I'm telling you, folks, these next 2 years, you're going to see things like this pop up all over the place. And it's going to be machine gun type cadence, rat-tat-tat. They're going to be one after another. And every social injustice that Obama and the left think is occurring in this country, they are going to address it and fix it with the implementation of a Linsky-type left liberalism with the stroke of a pen. And it's all going to happen, be predicated on the notion the U.S., and the way it was founded, was unjust and immoral, unfair, unequal. And finally, after 200 some odd years, finally, somebody's going to come along and get it right. And it's going to be frequent, and you're going to feel overwhelmed, and you're going to be looking to the Republicans in Washington to stop it, and they're going to have the slightest idea themselves what's happening. You're going to look in vain at our nation's capital, hoping somebody there would stand up to stop this. And those who do, such as the Ted Cruzes and the Rand Pauls, the Mike Lees, those who do stand up and try to stop whatever happens, are going to come under assault and attack as kooks and freaks and maniacs and uncooperative and all the other. The way the game is now being played.